Yo, for those watching the replays, we're going to talk about one thing that I see people falling in a trap of in life. It's watching other people's numbers, and then we're going to open it up to Q&A thereafter. So we'll give it a second to allow people some time to jump on here tonight. What's up, Logan? The Godfather. Carrie, Casey, Michael, Armando, Dan. Appreciate everyone taking the time to jump on here tonight. So what I want to talk about today, and I'm going to open it up to the Q&A here at the end for anybody who's got questions, but what I want to start out with, when you're in life and in business and you're on your path and journey to doing something good for your life, you got to understand one thing. You have to understand that you can only focus on your own numbers. Don't focus on everybody else's numbers. Focus on your numbers, because everybody's numbers, you don't even know what they actually mean. What do I mean by that? When people are talking about the numbers that they're doing, it's like, all right, what is that, right? The only number that I care about, one, is myself, my numbers. But past that, the only number that I care about or have any interest in hearing about is how much money is in your pocket at the end of the year after taxes. That's it. Nothing else matters. So what I mean is, if you do $1 million in revenue, but you net $100,000 in profit and you pay $30,000 in taxes, you only keep 70 grand. That's the only number that I care about, right? There's these guys that will come out here and be like, yeah, I did 10 million last year. Okay, what was your profit margin? 5%. That's 500 grand. Not a bad day, but is that before or after taxes? Because if it's after taxes, that's really like 340 grand, not 500 grand. Because if I say I make $1 million and you say you make $1 million and I don't pay any taxes and you pay 40% in taxes, you made 600 grand and I made $1 million. So the numbers that people put out here, I had $1 million day. Okay, what does that mean? Did I sell one house for $1 million, but I actually lost money on it? The numbers are, so I got a check coming tomorrow for like $48,000. I lost $3,000 on that deal, right? I had to put my own money into the deal to get money back. You see, this is a real story. There's a guy sold a piece of property, say for $1 million. He was into the deal for about $1.5 million and sold it and got the check for, $1 million and said, this is the biggest, deal of my life. I made $1 million today. When in all reality, he just lost 500 grand. Like, it blows my mind, the numbers that people put out here when they know it's not real. Like, the only thing that I care about is net profits. So please don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up, chasing this thing that people say. Our average profit is $10,000 a deal, but I got 80% in expenses. Like, it doesn't matter, right? All I want to do is net without taxes, net profit after taxes. And people stay with the cap. Agreed. Big time agreed. Yeah. So pay attention to your numbers. That's the only numbers that you're ever going to know is real. And don't get in competition with other people when they might not even be telling you the real number. They're probably not even telling you the real numbers. And on top of that, the numbers that they are telling you are top line numbers, not net numbers. It's crazy. It's nuts. So that was my little rant. I saw a couple questions in here. I just got back from a mastermind from the last 2 days. Those that don't know what a mastermind is when you go and you surround yourself with other like-minded individuals that are successful in business. So I spend about 50 to 100 grand a year in my continuing education. But this specific one is like $35,000 a year to be in. And my biggest takeaways from that event, number one, is relationship capital. The more you pour into other people, the more you add value and give and be there when people need it without expecting anything in return. That's relationship capital. That's a real thing, because if I need something, I know I can pick up the phone and I'm going to get it, right? Or if I need to make an introduction, I need somebody to pick up the phone, they're going to be there. Or I need to borrow money, they're going to be there, right? I can make calls to, I don't know, many people on my phone to borrow 50, 100, 250, 500 grand tomorrow, and I'll get the wire tomorrow because I built that type of relationship capital with people. So relationship capital is number one. Again, just massively overgive and give so much value without expecting anything in return. Another takeaway is there's a gentleman that built he's got $43 million assets under management, which it's a lot of money. And one of the things that he said, a couple of things that he said the best time to take a risk is when you don't have when you're when the downside's protected. Meaning that if you're young and you don't have much, risk it all, because if you lose it all, you don't really lose anything in the first place, right? The other side to that, um, the other side to that, if in everyday life, let's say you're flush, you got a lot of money in the bank, that's a time to maybe risk a little bit, maybe go a little extra farther to try to get that higher ROI or that higher multiple on your return. So I thought that was good. Another thing is he said anything he goes into, I try to find the farthest negative. I try to tear it apart as much as humanly possible. And then if I still can't tear it apart, then I build the upside from there. And I was like, that's powerful, because a lot of people say I'm an overly conservative individual, and I might be, but I would rather dig something as tear it apart as much as humanly possible, to make sure that it works, instead of losing my shirt or losing a bunch of money. So those are some of the takeaways from Marco Island from the last 2 days. So if you got questions, drop questions. We're gonna get things rolling here today. Business, finance, real estate, entrepreneurship. How can we not pay so much in taxes? Cost segregation studies when you buy rental properties. Recommendation for a 22-year-old with $38,000. I mean, congrats. Number one, two. What do you want? You know what I mean? What do you want out of life? That's the real question. Another question on how to reduce your tax bill is definitely buying rental properties using cost segregation studies. Close on my first property day. Thanks for the encouragement. Absolutely. Congrats. That's huge. What are the numbers on the deal? Love meeting you this week in Austin. Greatly appreciate the insight and value you shared on stage. Such great insight. Keep crushing it. Appreciate it, brother. Great to connect with you as well, Caleb. Do you have fund model or raise capital for each deal? Right now, I raise capital for each deal. I've thought about the fund model, so I'll probably end up doing that at some point. But right now, it's deal by deal. Do you buy in Iowa? No. If it was a large multifamily, I would consider it. So if you got something, send it to me. I'm joining Elevate soon. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Shoot me a DM when you join. Do you plan on another book? Yes. I will be writing another book probably later this year. If you got any topics on what you want the book to be about, drop a comment and let me know. But I've got 2 books out now. If you haven't read them, one's From Valet to Millionaire. It's the 10 things they don't teach you to become rich. They's your parents, school, teachers, doctors, principals, everybody in the world that wants you to go down the path everybody else has gone down, which is go to college, graduate, get a degree, work your way up the corporate ladder, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's essentially how I was able to break out of that and build what I've been able to build. The second book is called Get Free Houses. So it's how to raise money from other people to then invest that money into real estate. So essentially how to build wealth for yourself using other people's money. So if you want to, I got to set that up. So if you want to learn more about that, or you want to grab one of the books, if you go, it's in the link in my bio, or if you go to howtogetfreehouses.com, howtogetfreehouses.com, you can grab a copy there as well. How do you create enough rental income after paying down a mortgage? Just keep buying more properties? Yeah. So, so this would be a lot easier to show on a spreadsheet, but I don't have a spreadsheet. But let's say I buy a rental property and it can rent for $1,500 a month. And I know my principal and interest is going to be, $800 a month. My taxes is going to be $100 a month. And my insurance is going to be $50 a month. So I'm going to paying out, what's that, $950 per month. And the income is $1,500 per month. So essentially you're cash flowing $550 a month, but there will be vacancies, there will be repairs, there will be expenses. So you won't net that $550 a month. But it's enough margin to still make profit thereafter. So I just look for profitable deals that cash flow independently of themselves. And then, yes, I want to then continue to go out and buy more deals so I can build more cash flow. Would you ever JV a duplex in Austin? Joint ventures on smaller, 1, 3, 5, 7 unit properties. There's just not enough juice. There's not enough profit in the deal typically to joint venture. But if somebody had a 30, 50, 100 unit apartment complex or commercial building or something, I would love to connect and do a deal together. Are the capital gains on a flip paid immediately, or can I buy real estate throughout the year to lower those taxes? Yeah, you can definitely. You only pay taxes one time at the end of the year. So it's not even really the end of the year, it's into the next year. So I think it's like April 15th or something like that. So essentially all the profits I made last year, I had until December 31st, 2023 to, try to reduce my tax liability. So no, you don't pay it immediately. It all factors in at the end of the year. Cause like if you make 100 grand on a house, then you lose 100 grand on the next house, you're net zero. Right. So it's all at the end of the year. You got to win today, bro. A property giving us issues at first, tried different marketing strategy and dispo, and now under contract today. $37,000 fee on the way, closing soon. Learned it all from you, bro. Yo, 37,000. I love it. I love it. Wholesale deal. Like people don't understand the power of social media. And this is funny. I remember when Crit and I started working together at first. And you were, I don't know how long, but you were months into trying to get your first deal, right? And you called me one day. You're like, "Yo, it's like this is frustrating. Like, is this actually going to work? I feel, like I'm not being successful." And I'm like, "This is, it takes time. Like, you got to build your pipeline. You got to get that first deal, which is the hardest thing to get. And then once you get that first deal, it's a snowball effect, and you just start running and crushing it, and people can't slow you down." And like, I think it was like a couple weeks later, you called me back. He was like, "Yo, I got the first deal. I got the second deal. The third deal is on the way." And you've been crushing it ever since. So it's dope to see. Congrats on all your success. It's been amazing to be on the journey with you. But like the thing I hope people understand is like it only takes one decision to change your life. 1 second, one moment, one decision, and you can literally change the trajectory of your last name forever. But people think it's like, this crazy, impossible thing when it's literally right here at your fingertips. So I want to encourage everybody, you got a dream, you got something you want to go after. There's no time like the present. None. It's exactly what happened. Appreciate you, broski. 7 figures on the way. Let's get it. Right. It's my original dream was to make 100,000, and I did 100,000 on my first deal. And it was like, all right, let's do 250. And I was like, all right, let's do 500. And it was like, all right, let's do 1 million. It's like, all right, like let's do many millions. Now the goal is 10 million a year, and net. By the way, again, the only thing I care about is net profits after taxes. That's the only thing that matters. But yeah, no, it's dope. I'm happy for you. Thanks. Also, what markets would you say will appreciate most in the next 10 to 20 years? I have no idea. I have zero clue. If I am in short of closing costs after paying 20% down payment, may I just get hard money loan for down payment? You would have to. It's not necessarily a hard money loan. It's like a gap loan. But there are some people that do it. They charge very high fees and interest rates. But yes, you could do it. Again, the way that I like to do it, I don't like using my money in real estate. I like using other people's money. So I always borrow money from somebody else to then fund my own deal. That's my structure. Use other people's money to build wealth for myself. Right. So what I do, if I got a deal, I'm buying it for 100 grand. I'm putting 50 grand into it. I'm borrowing $150,000 from somebody else to fund that deal that I own 100% of. So I raise money to fund my real estate. I've raised over $25 million, done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real estate deals from that. Even to this day, I still use other people's money. So yeah, I would use OPM all the way. If you want to learn more about other people's money, how to raise money from other people to fund your real estate deals, if you comment the letters OPM, other people's money, comment OPM, and I'll send you more information on it. How was your first ever cold call as far as wholesale? Oh my gosh, I was unbelievably scared. So here's how my journey started when I started to find my own deals, my own real estate deals. I was working valet, and I think I had an iPhone at the time, and this is 2014, 2015. Had an iPhone, and then I bought a second line. It was a flip phone. It's one of the old flip phones. So anytime that phone rang, I knew it was money calling. It was a seller calling me with interest to sell their property. So I was at work valeting cars, and the phone started vibrating. I was like, oh God, oh man. I was like, guys, like I gotta go to the back of the room to take this call. And I had my little sheet and and sorry, I just got a text. And I had my little sheet and I answered the phone. I was like, hello? Yeah, dude, you want to sell your property? It was terrible. It was horrendous. But that's part of the game. You know, I hated cold calling. I hated being on the phone. I hated being on camera. I hated putting myself out there. But I understand what it can do for myself, my life, and the people around me. It can massively project. It can massively move you into a significantly better life than you could ever imagine if you face those fears. So it was terrible. It was very bad. Would love to link in chat sometime. I'm also East Coast. I love it. I'm doing an event in South Florida in late March. We'll release the dates here in the next couple of days. But we'd love if you guys want to come out, learn the game of real estate. You know, put it in your calendar when it comes out. Late March. We'd love to see you down here. Do you still believe in wholesaling? Absolutely, for sure. You can make many, lots of money. Do USDA loans work? Yeah, they can. But private money is the only way you're going to get deals 100% funded. That's the only way you're going to get 100% funding on deals. There's no background check. There's no credit check. There's no down payment requirements. There's no monthly mortgage payments. There's none of that stuff. Would you ever buy a hotel? Is that a good investment? Talking about net income after tax. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that are very wealthy that own hotels. But you know, I that's not my niche. I don't really know it. So you know, I'm not going to buy a hotel unless it's crazy opportunity. But it can be good. You make money on it. What's the difference among OPM, private loan, and hard money loan? Great question. So other people's money and private money, I use it in the same. So private money is individuals that lend you money that will fund 100% of the transaction. Hard money loans are institutions that lend money that will never fund 100% of the deal. So, you know, if I want to buy real estate, would I rather use my money or none of my money? Duh, I'd rather use none of my money. So that's the power of private money lenders. That's how you can build wealth using other people's money. Don't do March 30th. I'm going today. It's not, I got a date in my head. It's not the 30th. So I think it'll be the week before that. How high interest rate private money could be? I mean, it can be literally whatever you negotiate. It can be 1% or it can be 15%. You know, I typically pay 8, 10, 11% interest. But it's literally whatever you can negotiate. There's no right or wrong answer. It's 100% negotiable to whatever you want to do. Do you know what RMBS is? No, I have no idea what that is. No clue. If y'all got questions, we're doing Q&A, anything about business, real estate. I own 130 rental properties, flipped hundreds of houses, relationships, anything y'all got, drop it below. How much will the cost be to attend? This is for the event in March. Still putting that together. It will be a paid event. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be 10K and it's not going to be $50. You know, we're looking to add crazy value and get people, you know, as much as humanly possible from this event. I want to come to your event. Let's get it. Let's get it. When should I do my first bird deal? So I believe before you start building wealth through real estate, you have to have income. So you got to have a really high job or company that you're already growing in and or actively doing real estate, flipping houses and wholesaling houses. Once you have active income coming in, Then you can start building wealth by buying rental properties, which is the BRRRR method. So you can get a house with none of your own money and own it in perpetuity and build massive wealth for yourself and your family without touching a single penny of your own money. So I think the BRRRR deal is an amazing investment strategy, but you have to have other income in the meantime to be able to do that and be able to build wealth. Excuse me, and be able to build wealth long term. Residential mortgage-backed securities. Yes, I've heard of those, but I don't know anything about them, nor what the question is. But yes, I know what that is. Hey, baby, you're gonna have to get on here with me next week, cause peer pressure, positive peer pressure. We're gonna get my wife on here with me one time. She doesn't like the camera. Oh man. If you were to start a new life and had 10K, what would be your plan? It'd be the same thing I do that got me started in the first place. I would invest in somebody who can teach me exactly what it is that I want to do, whether that's drop shipping or real estate or building codes and websites or whatever it is that you want to do. Hire somebody that is doing that at a high level, copy and paste exactly what they're doing to go out and build your own business. Like, it's not, what's up, Tito? It's not rocket science. People massively overcomplicate this business success thing. Literally all you have to do is copy and paste. It's really that simple. Like, it's not rocket science. When you harden a property, do you use black or stainless steel? We use black appliances because when you dent stainless steel, I'm looking at my fridge, there's a dent in it, and it's like, bam, it's right there. So we don't use stainless steel in our rental properties. We use black appliances. One, they're cheaper, which is nice. But two, they don't get dented, which means that they'll last longer, which means I have to replace them fewer times, which means I make more money. I'm trying to get started in the business, but I don't understand it. Again, hire a coach or go to YouTube University. Those are the two options. The power of this thing at your fingertips, the cell phone, is insane. Go to YouTube University and learn. And if you want to hire a coach so you can get a step-by-step process, hire a coach to teach you the business. When's the jet coming? Oh, we working towards it. Was it trial and error getting your first private money lender? It took a lot of networking to get my first lender. It actually came, my first private money lender came from somebody I met a year prior at a real estate networking event before I ever needed the money. So I was building, there's a saying that's called dig your well before you're thirsty. Build relationships with private money lenders before you ever actually need the money. Because then when you need the money, it's a lot easier to make that phone call because you don't sound desperate because you've already built that relationship. So that's who lent me my first deal, money on my first deal. And I've raised $25 million since then. Everyday conversations, everybody I meet, I'm trying to raise money from every single person that I see in my life. So again, you got to understand private money, number one, how it works, how it flows, how the conversations work, what documents you need, what happens if the market crashed, all these things, you have to understand that. And once you understand it, you understand the true power of giving somebody an opportunity to invest with you, not asking someone to invest with you, but giving somebody an opportunity to invest with you. That's how you raise the money, because you believe it in your heart. You're giving somebody an opportunity, and you can conversate that in a way that makes them feel like they need to invest with you. But you got to understand private money first. And that's what I teach. I teach people how to understand private money, the conversation flow, to be able to go out and raise private money themselves. So again, if you comment the word OPM, I'll send you some more information over on that. Austin, what's up, Paul? Let's go. Have you ever been scammed? Oh yeah. Austin is the real deal. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, I've been scammed. I mean, it's part of life, right? We all do dumb investments. We believe in the wrong people. I've invested in um, two things off the top of my head that did not end well. I ended up losing six figures, multi six figures each. Dumb decision, dumb investing. I got greedy. And I've also believed in people and paid them money up front, which then unfortunately didn't work. They stole the money. I never heard from them again. So yes, I've been scammed many times. By the way, every successful individual has been scammed many times and lost money many times. The only reason that we're still here standing is because we don't take that as the end all be all. We take it as a lesson learned and continue to push on. Hey, also, I have a seller who claims his signature is all I need on a purchase and sale agreement, but his daughter is also an owner. Would that work? Anybody who's on title has to sign the contract. Just wanted to say, since last week when I started the training, I funded $300K in private money. Let's go. I'm telling you, this private money thing works. If you can learn private money, raising money and building wealth for yourself using other people's money becomes so much easier. Comment the word OPM and I'll show you how to do it. What timeline do you estimate for a light, medium, and heavy rehab? So if it's just cosmetic, which means we're not moving walls, we're not moving bathrooms, we're not moving things. I mean, a couple weeks, a month max. If we're moving some things, maybe 2 or 3 months. If we're gutting the house completely to the studs and reframing it, doing the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, insulation, drywall, siding, windows, like everything, that's a 5 to 6 month job. And then if you're doing like a high end custom home, multi-million dollar home, that could take 6, 12, even 24 months, just depending on how much work, actually goes into the deal. Is it normal in most states now long-term rentals doesn't have positive cash flow no more? The cash flow can be less in some areas, but I would never buy a house that didn't have positive cash flow. I need to have positive cash flow. Will you make another video on private money to help us understand and having more confidence when going into the conversation? Yes. So if you want to learn private money, go to my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of videos on private money, but I'm telling you, the course that I sell on private money is a game changer. It's only $27, $27. That's it. I used to sell it for $1,000. It's $27 now. So I would absolutely buy that. If you have any desire to do real estate, there's no reason you shouldn't buy the private money course. It has conversations, it has credibility packs, it has the scripts, it has the notes, the mortgages, the escrow agreements, the rehab agreements, the lien releases, the escrow releases, W9. It has everything that you need to raise money. Again, you need that. Comment the word OPM, or go to useprivatemoney.com and go buy the course and learn private money. Useprivatemoney.com. That's where you can get it at. When was your last construction? What month do you start in Ohio? Folks working below 30 degrees. Yeah, so for new construction in Ohio, you do have to be wary and conscious of the temperatures outside. I haven't built new construction for a few years now, though. We do rehabs, but typically those are inside. The course is amazing. $27 is what people spend at Starbucks. Agreed. Make $1 million off a couple deals using private money. 100%. Like to get one promissory note from an attorney is going to cost you $200-$300, and this is literally $27. Is it trustworthy to buy from online influencers or build personal connections in persons? From the right person, it doesn't matter if it's online or not. So if you buy from the right person, you're going to get what you pay for every time. What's the purpose for having this YouTube channel? What's your 5-year plan? To grow it, and help, hundreds of thousands of people, build wealth for themselves, outside of the traditional system, outside of going to college, outside of putting your money into a 401k and an IRA and working until you're 65 and then maybe retiring at 65 years old. is to help people build wealth themselves now, wherever you're at in life, whether you're 18 years old or 70 years old. Build wealth. I mean, I do a lot through real estate. There's a lot of other ways, but that's my goal. That's my goal with the YouTube channel. So if you guys aren't on the YouTube channel, comment the word YouTube, and I'll send you my YouTube channel. But starting, actually, I think we had a YouTube video drop today. Let me check this out. That was not the right one to go to. View your channel. We actually had a YouTube video drop today. We're back on YouTube. So check out YouTube. Today's video is how to use debt. How to use debt, which most people think is a negative thing. How to use debt to build wealth. Wealth is created through debt, the right type of debt. So hit the YouTube channel, comment the word YouTube, and I'll send it over to you. Don't forget to network. Agreed. Thank you for everything you teach. Absolutely. Appreciate you being here. Few more questions before I wrap it up tonight. What y'all got? Was your wife into real estate before you both met? She was not. She always wanted to be in real estate. And then she ended up getting a real estate license. So she's a licensed realtor in both Ohio and Florida. And she does that. She does the retail side. It helps me with my stuff too. How long did it take you from starting your rental portfolio to reach your first money milestone? It depends on what your first money milestone is. My first deal, it was like a $200,000 duplex. So that was the first deal at 20 years old. And that, I've been flipping a lot of deals ever since then. And I've been buying more rental properties ever since then. When you do the Burr method, you're in the refinancing step. Most banks ask for a year before refinance. What banks can you do a conventional refinance with before the year? No banks with conventional. Conventional it's one size fits all. They require a year of what's it called? 1 year of seasoning. So I don't use conventional mortgages. I use DSCR lenders, which they have 90-day seasoning requirements. 90 days. If you comment the word interest payment, I'll send you over my lender. What do you think about courthouse auction? It can work. It can definitely work. I bought a couple of houses from the courthouse. The only thing with the courthouse is that it's more risky because typically you buy those houses sight unseen, which means you can't see them yourself. So you have to assume worst case scenario. So you have to assume, there's all types of expenses that you're going to have to incur. So yeah, just be prepared and make sure you have a big enough budget. What does seasoning mean? Seasoning means that you can't refinance with a lender until you have owned the property for a certain period of time. Seasoning is how long you own the property for. So 90-day seasoning means that I bought it 90 days ago. Now I can refinance it. Which DSCR lenders do you recommend in Pennsylvania and Ohio markets? Again, comment the word interest payment, and I'll send it over to you. How do you set up your asset protection for your real estate? Do you have a trust at the top and then a limited partner and then LLCs? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different structures. I have a lot of other businesses outside of real estate as well, so it even gets more complicated. But that's what we have, a partnership with Prime Corporate Services that can help people get their entity structure set up the right way. Do you pay principal and interest as well, or just principal? We actually just pay interest right now because interest rates are so high. We're trying to maximize cash flow. It was nice receiving advice from you, Austin. Hope to do business with you in the future. Looking forward to it. Do I think Alabama is a good market? It could be for sure. What up, Aaron? How do I persuade my spouse who is suspect to real estate and hates debt into buying it? Go watch my video. Go watch my YouTube video that I posted today. Comment the word YouTube, and it talks about the power of using debt to build wealth for yourself and your family. So have him watch that video or watch it together, and hopefully he comes around. But I started my YouTube channel. I got a ton of information on the YouTube channel. So, cool. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Appreciate y'all being here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live. Come on here, get your questions answered. Appreciate y'all being here this evening, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.